Hi everybody, welcome to EduTap. And if you are preparing for NABARD Grade A 2025 examination and confused, you are ARD Current Affair from where to study, what is the weightage, should we even study or not, right? If you have any of such queries, today we are going to understand each and everything about it. What are the different components of ARD Current Affairs, about its weightage, what type of questions are asked, how to prepare for phase 1 and phase 2. Is there any difference or should there be any different approach for phase 1 and phase 2? Everything we are going to cover in a single video, and we would talk each and everything to the point. So if you have any query, watch this session till the end. But before starting, I just want to say that if you're thinking of preparing for NABARD grade examination, and like if you have any confusion regarding like how to prepare about the previous year questions, right, about the syllabus of the examination, what is the eligibility criteria, anything, so you can refer to our this e-guidebook we have specially designed for aspirants like you who want to prepare for NABARD grade A examination and want to become an assistant manager at NABARD, right? So do not miss the opportunity. You can download these e-guidebooks which are free of cost from the link that is provided in the description box below. And please keep in mind that here you also we also provide MCQs, PYQs from 2018, so it is going to serve you the purpose. Okay, so now I will just briefly tell you what is going to be the agenda of today's video. We are going to first start off with the ARD current affairs, like what are that in the NABARD grade examination, about its weightage in phase 1, in phase 2, then how to prepare ARD current affair for phase 1 and phase 2, and finally what are the best sources that are currently available for ARD current affairs if you want to go for self preparation for NABARD grade examination. Starting off with what are the ARD current affairs in the NABARD grade examination. Okay, ARD, as the name suggests, agriculture and rural development. If you know, I hope by now you know the syllabus of the exam. You have ESI, ARD, and GA section. Okay, in this we have specific ARD section where the 40 questions in phase 1 are asked. Okay, and out of these 40 questions, 30 to 32 questions are asked from your static only, but 8 to 10 questions you can observe from ARD current affairs. Okay, we are talking about ARD section. Okay, and ARD phase 1, then ARD phase 2 also you would find around 12 to 13 question from your ARD CA only, ARD current affairs only. Okay, so you are looking at that. Okay, in phase 1 also even less weightage is there, but it is still there. And in phase 2 also we have like decent enough weightage of ARD current affairs. Okay, and let me also highlight that sometimes you might find some questions that are exclusive to ARD, like in random years we have observed randomly in GA one or two question have been asked. Okay, in random years, not every year. Okay, similarly in ESI section we have randomly seen questions from NABARD annual report or like such reports from in your ESI section. So we will not talk about ESI and GA exclusively, because whatever your preparation you will do for ARD section of ARD current affairs, that will help you if randomly question comes in GA or ESI. Okay, let's first say that when we talk about ARD current affairs, like what sort of question does it include? Does it include all generic ARD agriculture related news that runs across? No, that is not the case. Okay, if I tell about, if you have to distribute like what weightage of different components of ARDCA it has, the maximum chunk is taken up by government schemes. For example, if in your phase 1 I am saying that 8 to 10 questions are around us, so around 4 to 5 of these 8 to 10 questions will be from your government schemes only. Similarly, if in phase 2 I am saying 12 to 13 questions are asked, I am saying 8 to 9 will be from your government schemes only. So looking at that overall of the chunk of ARDCA, maximum is taken up by government schemes. What sort of government schemes? I hope you understand like what can be the ministries that are related to agriculture. So when I say that agriculture ministries are at, the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare becomes important. Ministry of Rural Development becomes important. Ministry of Panchayati Raj becomes important. Ministry of Food Processing and Food Processing Industry becomes important, and environment also becomes important, because if you look at the syllabus of the ARD section, you would find that ecology and climate change and environment is part of it. So any ministry that caters to the syllabus becomes important from the examination perspective. Okay, अब half, if almost half is your government schemes, then what are the rest two portion that you're looking at it? Okay, the next major portion is taken by ARD reports. Okay, so when I say report, I mean सबसे पहले and सबसे important is your NABARD annual report, definitely. Okay, NABARD annual report. Also every financial year some other reports are also published by NABARD, so those reports can also be asked in the examination. ठीक है, तो other reports that are published by NABARD itself. Then when I talk about ARD reports, in it includes the ministries. Agriculture ministry की annual report हो गई, ministry of rural development की annual report हो गई, ministry of animal husbandry, department of animal husbandry की annual report हो गई. And yeah, here ministry of animal husbandry is also important. ठीक है, animal husbandry is also important and fisheries also. ठीक है, ये आपकी ministries important है. ठीक है, तो एनीथिंग, अब इसमें देखो याद करने की जरूरत नहीं, यू डोंट हैव टू मेमोराइज एनीथिंग, जस्ट कीप इन माइंड एनीथिंग दैट इज रिलेटेड टू एग्रीकल्चर एंड allied sector, those ministries are important. ठीक है, and again, so in reports we can broadly categorize it into, first of all, the annual reports, ठीक है, or different ministries of NABARD, and secondly we can divide it on census. ठीक है, there are certain census in agriculture which comes in every 5 years. We have agri census, ठीक है, we have handloom census, ठीक है, we have livestock census. These are some census names which are like which are part of your agriculture and allied census, comes in every 5 years, and these have questions have observed from these census as well. So when we say ARD reports, we can broadly divide into government scheme, I'm sorry, we can broadly divide into annual ministries and then censuses. ठीक है, then third is your agriculture current affairs. ठीक है, और इसमें I would want to add not only agriculture census but आपको जो generic census है ना, that comes every 10 years, like census 2011 thing. ठीक है, means last year, last time 2011 it has come. It would have been, the latest would have been out now, but all the census have been delayed because of the COVID in between. ठीक है, तो so that was about it. And third is your the smallest portion is constitute of your generic ARDCA. What are the generic ARDCA? Like any mention of agriculture or allied sector in the news, it can be asked. ठीक है, apart from that, some specific one I have added, all this thing I have added in the further slide, do not get confused. ठीक है, जैसे आपके MSPs है, ठीक है, एडवांस एस्टिमेट, ये कुछ चीजें हैं which are like exclusive to your ARDCA. अगर if there is any mention in your budget, economic survey, all these things can be asked in your ARDCA. तो आप नॉर्मल ऐसे इसको समझ सकते हैं, जो भी न्यूज दैट इज जेनेरिक न्यूज which could not be any ARD current affair which could not be put under government schemes, because that is very specific, and reports because those are also very specific, right? Anything other, it comes under your ARD current affair portion. ठीक है, what is the weightage? Now I have already told you, but again to give you an understanding, weightage in phase 1 is like your 8 to 9 marks. ठीक है, इसमें भी if you have to further divide, government schemes would constitute of maximum chunk 3 to 4 marks, ARD reports around 2 to 3, and ARDCA आपका maximum to maximum आपके 2 marks तक वो आपको phase 1 में देता है. And talking about phase 2, in phase 2 is there any difference? Yes, there will be a difference, because the weightage of ARDCA altogether it increased to 13 to 14 marks. So because of that, government schemes का weightage बन जाता है 8 to 9 marks. Government schemes related to ARD and allied sector, ARD reports का weightage बन जाता है 4 to 5 marks, and ARD current affair का weightage बन जाता है 2 to 3 marks. ठीक है, now, how to prepare for ARD for phase 1? So, before understanding how to prepare, it is also important to understand that how the questions are asked in the examination, right? So, coming to first, let's see some previous year question, and then we will understand कि कैसे prepare करना है. ठीक है, for and this is like mix of everything. ठीक है, first of all we have, like for example in reports we have understood कि census से question आ जाते हैं, like this is from your agriculture census 2011, I'm sorry, not agriculture census but generic census, जो population statistical data है आपका census 2011 से the question has been asked. And one more thing I want to say before I move forward, that whatever question we are discussing, this is from this last cycle only, so everything is latest that we are talking about. ठीक है, so it says according to census 2011 what is the minimum population of the term defining ruler. ठीक है, तो again what was it? So this was this is related to census, this is related to report. What we have to observe, that very straightforward one liner question has been asked, right? Not any twisted format, not any analytical way or something, like straightforwardly. I do understand that data specific question is asked, but it is quite straightforward. Similarly, one from annual report of NABARD. देखो NABARD annual report तो very important for NABARD exam, you have to understand which of the following funds is managed by NABARD. So this particular question is from your NABARD annual report that was asked. Again, a very straightforward question. Like these are the question, either you know, you don't know, right? You know the terminology, you don't know the terminology, you know the concept or you don't know the concept. It's like that. Okay. Third, which of the following portal is launched for solving the problems of farmer? अब this is your generic ARD current affair that I was talking about. Okay. Which of the following portal is launched for solving the problem of farmer? So this is the generic news that was going on, that was related to ARD. Not only that, from MSPs also, MSPs, and then your advanced estimates, from there also question was asked. But this the idea of this video is just to give you a reference कि कैसे पूछा जा सकता है, right? So that is why I have not added all, but to give you the clarity. अब ये आपका गवर्नमेंट स्कीम से भी क्वेश्चन देखो, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर एलिजिबल बेनिफिशियरी अंडर ग्राम आवास योजना ग्रामीण स्कीम, ठीक है? Again, so a question was from scheme was asked, but again a very straightforward question was asked. So what do we get the understanding from this particular slide? What is the analysis? It says that in phase 1 questions are quite direct, ठीक है? We have understand from generic CA can be asked, from reports can be asked, from government schemes will be asked. So okay, components are quite diversified, but they are straightforwardly they are asked in the examination, ठीक है? So how to prepare? So first of all, let's discuss that what you need to cover, ठीक है? तो government schemes की बात करें, whatever the important ministries are there, अब we have understood, okay, ARD का syllabus से look at the syllabus, refer to the syllabus, ठीक है? And you would get to know what are the important ministries that are there, and we have already talked about it also, right? Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Rural Development, Panchayati Raj, Food Processing Industry, Ministry of Environment, ठीक है? Department of Animal Husbandry, Fisheries, Ministry of Fisheries, ठीक है? Department of Fisheries, I'm sorry, ये सबकी schemes important है. But now the catch is that these ministry were like very 20s, 30s, 50 schemes under them. How much can you actually learn and retain, right? So the trick is that the schemes which were in news in 6 months, only those have been observed in exam. We have seen previous year question, we have realized from before exam, whatever in 6 month time period, whatever schemes was asked, were there in news related to the syllabus, were asked in the examination. So you just cover that. Next, reports mein NABARD annual report very important, along with if any other report that has been published, census 2011, agriculture census, handloom census, livestock census, ministries important report, जो important annual reports है मतलब, और एक आपकी report होती है basic animal husbandry statistic. From last 2-3 years we are observing that there is a question every year that is coming from it, even if it is a one question, but there is a question that is coming from basic animal husbandry statistic. So we would recommend इसको करके जाओ. What is this report about? This report talks about the ranking we have, means ranking in at international level plus at national level. जैसे for example in milk, what are the top 3 milk producing states, what are the top 3 wool producing states, ऐसे ऐसे करके rankings दिए. तो basic animal husbandry statistic है. I would say it is an important one, इसको करके जाना. ARD से जेनेरिक आपकी कोई न्यूज हो, ठीक है, ARD रिलेटेड. इकोनॉमिक सर्वे में इफ देर इज एनी मेंशन ऑफ ARD और एलाइड एग्रीकल्चर और एलाइड सेक्टर, बजट में इफ देर इज मेंशन दैट कैन बी आस्क्ड. MSPs एंड एडवांस एस्टिमेट्स आर वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ये सब आपको जब आप न्यूज कवर करते हो मिल जाते हैं. MSPs आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, एडवांस एस्टिमेट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कैन बी आस्क्ड इन द एग्जामिनेशन. नेक्स्ट, गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स में आपकी क्या एग्जिस्ट करती हैं, ठीक है? ओवरऑल अगर आप देखो, ओवरऑल इट इज देन अराउंड गिविंग यू 15 मार्क्स, ठीक है? ओवरऑल में अगर हम देखें, ठीक है, ओवरऑल देखें तो हमने समझ गया कि इंपॉर्टेंट मिनिस्ट्रीज जो न्यूज में हो, क्या क्या कवर करना है आपको. जो हमने ये चीज समझी है, नाउ इन डिटेल आई वांट यू टू नो दैट यू हैव टू कवर द बेसिक टॉपिक. जैसे मिनिस्ट्री, इट फॉल्स अंडर विच मिनिस्ट्री, व्हाट इज द लॉन्चर ऑफ द स्कीम, व्हाट इज द फंडिंग एंड बजट एलोकेशन, व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, हु आर द टारगेट बेनिफिशियरी. इफ इट इज अ स्टेट स्कीम, जस्ट टू नो टू विच स्टेट डज इट बिलोंग्स टू, दैट इज इनफ, ठीक है? एंड इफ एनी करंट डेवलपमेंट हैज हैपेंड अंडर द स्कीम, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड व्हाट स्कीम्स टू कवर, हु आर देयर इन 6 months टाइम पीरियड, ठीक है? रिपोर्ट्स की बात करें, रिपोर्ट्स का ये थोड़ा गलत हो गया, थोड़ा मार्क्स ज्यादा हो गए, आई एम रियली सॉरी, ठीक है? व्हाट यू नीड टू कवर, विच फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, नाउ व्हाट रिपोर्ट्स टू कवर, व्हेन आई से 2 to 3 रिपोर्ट्स आर कवर, ठीक है? पर कौन सी करनी है, एक तो लिस्ट मैंने आपको दे दी है, बट समटाइम यू नो सम रैंडम रिपोर्ट्स आर आल्सो आस्क्ड, ठीक है? एंड यू गेट कंफ्यूज लाइक व्हाई दीज रिपोर्ट्स हैव आस्क्ड व्हेन दे आर नॉट डायरेक्टली पार्ट ऑफ द सिलेबस और द प्रेडिक्टेड लाइन ऑफ रिपोर्ट्स दैट आर आस्क्ड, ठीक है? Sometime it has happened that any reports have been published by any, like you know, non-regular, any non-regular report has been published which talks about anything that is related to your ARD syllabus. जैसे sometimes the food and agriculture organization, it publishes some report. अब जैसे if you are thorough with current affairs, अभी last month only नीति आयोग has published a report based on the fishery sector. So now that is not a regular report, but it talks about fishery sector which is part of your ARD syllabus, right? So that report, then it would be better if you go prepared from that particular report, ठीक है? So first of all, a generic report list that I've given, that is important, but apart from that, if any random report has been published by any national or international government body in the 6 months time frame, it can also be asked in the exam. Why am I saying government body? If any private entity, if any NGO has come up with any report, those are not observed in the exam. But at national level, for example, Niti Aayog, ministries, other ministries have come up with any report related to syllabus, of course. In at national level, food and agriculture organization has come up with any report, United Nation has come up with any report related to your agriculture, in fact for that matter climate change also, because if you look at the ARD syllabus, your climate change is a part of it. Okay, so again I want to emphasize, both for schemes and reports, what ministries are important, what reports are important. Please, please, please stick to the syllabus, read the syllabus, and you would know that whenever any report will come or news will come or government scheme will come, you would know that is this relevant for ARD, your syllabus, ARD section or not. Okay, what you need to cover, released by which organization, what are the major findings of the remote, if there is the head of the committee, who is it, and if what is the ranking of India, or who are the top rankers. Sometime India can't be on the top 3, right? Then who are the top rankers can be asked. And whenever see this ranking is made, definitely there are some parameters on which this ranking is made, right? So what are those parameters on which the ranking is decided? Sometimes even those are asked. So that is how you have to prepare for ARD current affairs for phase 1. Talking about phase 2, is there any different approach? Okay, studying wise there is no different approach, but the way questions are asked in the examination, that I want to highlight. Okay, in phase 1 where we have seen directly one liner questions are asked, here it is not like that. Here what happens, here paragraphs are given, and then from those paragraph 2 to 3 questions are asked. Okay, and it can be sometime 2, it can be sometime 3, and you have to answer it. And let me also highlight one thing, you won't find the answers in the paragraph. Paragraph is just to just let you know, okay, what topic are they talking about, that's it. You cannot get the answers from the paragraph. In questions something other else only is asked. Okay, so how the questions that are asked, the approach of question in phase 1 and phase 2 is different. In phase 1, straightforward directly questions are asked, one liner, while in phase 2, paragraphs are given, and then from that 1 to 2 question are asked. And even if you look at the options, sometimes देखो direct questions are asked, like just which of the following entity was formed in NABARD 69th board meeting. Okay, that's the direct question. Sometimes they would give you statements, and in the option there will be combination of statements that is given, and you have to identify. Okay, so what difference are you looking at? Phase 2 becomes slightly difficult, not because something else is asked in the examination, but here you should have more clarity of the news, then only you can answer. Like for example, in phase 1 you could have guessed, make a wild guess, and it might have worked for you. But in phase 2 you should have clarity of the scheme properly, and then only you would have been able to identify कि agri clinics provide support for which of the following areas, then only you would have been able to answer. Okay, so that is why what we would recommend, don't prepare separately for phase 1 or phase 2. Just whatever you are reading, have clarity. Don't think that wild guess would work for you, because it would not, especially in phase 2. And we know that weightage in phase 2 is more. Okay, so यहाँ goes the same thing which you have seen for phase 1. Okay, same thing you would have to do, but much in a deeper level. That's it. Okay, now coming to what are the best sources to prepare ARD current affairs. So as we have seen, देखो अभी reports भी हैं, government schemes भी हैं. ठीक है, देन वी हैव योर जेनेरिक ARD CA ऑल्सो. ठीक है, तो आप कौन कौन सा सोर्स रेफर कर सकते हो? एक आप जेनेरिक ARD न्यूज़ के लिए आप कृषि जागरण या एग्रीकल्चर सेक्शन ऑफ हिंदू बिजनेस लाइन रेफर कर सकते हो. यू वुड हैव टू रेफर टू डिफरेंट मिनिस्ट्री फॉर देयर एनुअल रिपोर्ट्स. ठीक है, नाबार्ड मिनिस्ट्री फॉर नाबार्ड, आई एम सॉरी, नाबार्ड वेबसाइट फॉर नाबार्ड एनुअल रिपोर्ट or any other report that is published by NABARD in that particular financial year. Please keep in mind, only for that particular financial year what reports have been launched, those are asked. ठीक है, ठीक है. और इसके अलावा मिनिस्ट्रीज के लिए देयर इज अ वेबसाइट कॉल्ड विकासपीडिया. ठीक है, देयर यूजुअली व्हाट हैपेंस, देयर in a crux manner the schemes are mentioned, but I have not added it over here in this. ठीक है, the reason is that because in Vikaspedia sometime it happens that the current development has happened, but it is not immediately reflected in this Vikaspedia website. ठीक है, so that is why I have not written, but I just verbally I am telling you, in case you want to prepare, this is a good website. Then how you can be alert about it, that whenever you are reading current affair, if you find some different data that is mentioned over here, you can just, update your notes. Whatever written in current affair will be the latest data. And if you find that the data from the notes that you have made from Wikipedia, if it's different, you can just copy and you can just update it over there. Okay. So these are the ways by which you can prepare. And finally, like if you feel like, okay, time is very less and I have to, cover a lot of things, compiling current affair cannot be important for me, then in that case you can refer to our courses. Okay. You have to just click on this particular link and you will be redirected to the NABARD, our NABARD website, where we provide you guidance for NABARD examination. Okay. If you want to go for combo course preparing for some other exam, we have that. But if you want to exclusively go for the single course, okay, we have certain courses that are going on exclusively keeping in mind 2025 exam. We have test series going on. Okay, live class crash course has currently started. 1 week is done, so if you feel like you can complete it, the 1 week you can adjust somewhere, or maybe at the end of the time you can complete that initial 1 week time. So we would recommend like you can buy the crash course as well. Okay, and currently we are offering 72% off. We have two more courses, like if you're planning that this year, okay, let me just give it a try, but next year I'll prepare sincerely. So we have some long term courses also. Gold course where we provide content for phase 1, phase 2 and interview. Then silver course where we provide content for phase 2 and interview. Like, so these are abhi currently we are offering very good discounts. Okay, so you can explore this. Okay, so that is all in this particular video. I hope you like the session. Okay, and if you have any query, you can ask us, and I wish you all the very very best for your examination. And I also want to say that you can get the PDF of this and every lecture that we provide here on our Telegram channel. The link of it is given in the description box below. Okay, thank you everybody for watching, and I wish you all the very best for your exam.